Happy holidays. This week, I'm going with the new format still. Talking a little NFL. Peyton Manning, Philadelphia against Dallas. Talk a little bit about Big Ben. Major League Baseball, I'm going to talk a little bit about the St. Louis Cardinals and Texas Rangers, who we just recently saw in the World Series. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the concussion situation in the NHL and a new helmet that could help limit that, and the problems with getting it implemented. And I'm going to talk some NCAA football. You will all know I'm going to talk about Ohio State because I hate Ohio State. But I'm also going to talk about Boise State, who I think is the biggest joke on the planet. I'm also giving you my picks for today's games and tomorrow's games in Monday Night Football. And my fourth and goal, which isn't a normal fourth and goal. I'm pretty much just going to be preparing you for next week's triple threat. I'm the Trubl Zone. Good morning on the West Coast. Good afternoon on the East Coast, and right here in the heart of the Midwest. Happy holidays. We all know that what today is. And right now, you're spending Christmas Eve in the red zone. Starting off this week, as always, it is football season, so I start off with the National Football League. Did anybody else notice how the Colts actually managed to get a win last week? Do you know who was on the sidelines? Peyton Manning. I'm starting to question whether the Colts have had their coach all season or if he's been off getting surgery. That's right, I'm actually saying that Peyton Manning's not just the quarterback, but he's also the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. It's pretty sad when your starting quarterback, who is injured, makes it onto the field, onto the sidelines for the first time this season, and you get your first win. That pretty much calls into question the abilities of the current head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Also, Philly and Dallas. They've always been a rivalry. Philly hates Dallas. Dallas hates Philly. Everybody on the planet hates Dallas. This is going to be a game of, let's face it, who screws up less? I do not respect Dallas. I don't. Jerry Jones himself said he's scared of Philly. And this is going to be the deciding factor, really, in a lot of ways. I really don't think the Giants can make it over the next 2 weeks. And if Dallas wins this one, I'm almost going to guarantee that they're going to win the division. But Dallas really should be afraid of Philly. I think Jerry Jones is right. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that! Yes, that's true. I know Josh Wack, if he's watching this, is going, holy crap! He actually said Jerry was right! But Jerry Jones is right to be scared of Philly. Vic's mostly healthy, and Andy Reid's probably fighting for his job right now, and Philadelphia is not going to take it easy on Dallas. What they need to make sure they don't do is ice their own kicker, let Romo fumble, let Romo throw a pick in the red zone. So pretty much control your head coach and control your quarterback, and Dallas will probably win this game. Now, Monday night, I saw something that really aggravated me. And I know Big Ben's a gamer. He forces his way through. You know, he is probably the toughest quarterback in the NFL. But what he did against San Francisco Monday night was uncalled for. The Steelers are already going to be in the playoffs. Don't risk the playoffs. Take care of that high ankle sprain. Look, linemen can deal with a high ankle sprain and still play. Mike Golick was talking about it all week this week on Mike and Mike on the 4-Letter Network Radio. He's played with them. Let's see, who else? Mark Schlereth even said he's played with them. The fact is, if you're a wide receiver, you're not going to play with a high ankle sprain. If you're a running back, chances are you're not going to play with a high ankle sprain. If you're a quarterback, and it's coming up to the playoffs, Ben, you shouldn't have been playing. And thankfully, he is not going to play this week on the short turnaround, which is very, very smart on his part. I don't know if he made the decision or the coach said, "Look, Ben, I know you want to play, but I'm not doing it." Major League Baseball, a lot of people are talking about how the Cardinals lost so much with Pujols. Cardinals will be fine without Pujols. As of today, they signed Carlos Beltran to a 2-year, I believe, $26 million contract. Adam Wainwright will be back this year. Look, the Cardinals are not going to be going anywhere out of the title picture. There's still a chance the Cardinals could do back-to-backs this year. So, Angels fans believe that they've gotten something huge in Albert Pujols. No, you haven't. You got a home run hitter and a Golden Glove first baseman. I'm not saying these things because I'm upset that Pujols left St. Louis. We all know I'm a St. Louis fan. I'm happy that Pujols went to the Anaheim Angels. I am. He's going to have a lot longer career in the American League than he would in the National League. Once he can't really produce in the National League on a defensive side, he's pretty much worthless in the National League. So for somebody like him to go back to the AL and play AL T-ball, where your pitchers don't hit and it's not real baseball, he's got a long career as a designated hitter. The fact is, the Cardinals are not going anywhere. So you can pretty much avoid any of the comments about, well, the St. Louis Cardinals are done. They don't have Pujols. They've got a lot of power on that team. They've got a lot of talent. It's probably the most talented roster in Major League Baseball. I don't care what Yankee fans say. They've bought their championships, and look where it's gotten them here recently. Also, speaking of the American League, the Texas Rangers, I really don't know how many of these MLB teams are gonna have to make this mistake before everybody learns. Daisuke was a flop. Just about every pitcher and, well, every player that we brought over from the Japanese leagues has been a flop in Major League Baseball. And I'm really not seeing where Yu Darvish is going to be any different. The Rangers now have the rights to sign Yu Darvish from his Japanese team, and I think the Rangers are grasping at straws at this point. They have been to the World Series twice. They've lost both times. In 2010 to the Rangers, 2011 to the Cardinals. 2010 to the Giants. Wow. As you can tell, it's been a rough week. 2011 to the St. Louis Cardinals. They're grasping at straws. They've got the talent there, but they need something to get them over that hump. And they're thinking Yu Darvish is going to be it. But the Cardinals carved up their pitching core pretty good in the World Series. So I really don't think one man's going to make a difference. National Hockey League. There's talk about a new helmet that could save NHL players from the concussions and the severe head trauma that they've endured for, well, let's be honest, since the beginning of the league. There's one party blocking it, and it's going to surprise you. It's actually the NHLPA. Why? Because the players make money off of what brand of helmets they're wearing. NHL players are some of the lowest paid players in professional sports. They are. But to risk your own safety for marketing reasons is ridiculous. It is more ridiculous than if an afro completely spawned up out of my bald head and a gigantic full Grizzly Adams beard just suddenly spontaneously exploded from my face. It's more ridiculous than that. If the NHLPA is actually blocking this thing like the rumors are saying, then they need to decertify and just let the owners have their say, because they're more of a danger to the players than the ownership. That's just the fact. NCAA. Okay. I'm going to say something that I never thought I would hear myself say. USC fans, Trojan fans, you have a right to be very, very ticked off right now. The actions of one person, Reggie Bush, got you a 5-year ban from bowl games. That ends, of course, it ends after this set of bowls, and you're re-eligible in 2012. Ohio State has more than one person violating the rules They get 1 year ban. 1 year. That's not a punishment, NCAA. That is a vacation for Ohio State. That is 1 year where they're not going to get slapped around like the you-know-what they are. I mean, we all know I don't like to cuss on this show. I got young people that do watch this show, believe it or not. But the fact is, it's a vacation for Ohio State from getting the crap beat out of them by the SEC or the Big 12 or the Pac-12 in bowl games. That's all it is. And, of course, the Vest got a 5-year, essentially a 5-year ban from coaching in the college level, whatever. The fact is, Ohio State should have gotten at least a 5-year to match what USC got. What they get? They get 1 year. That is ridiculous. The next person I hear say that the NCAA has an SEC bias, I'm going to slap them right in the face if they're in front of me. If not, I'm just going to slap them verbally over Twitter or Facebook or right here on the show. This proves that the NCAA has a huge douche 10 bias. It's ridiculous that Ohio State gets a slap on the wrist. 9 scholarships and a 1-year bowl ban. What? That's ridiculous. Ohio State, like I said, should be serving at least 5 years to match up with what USC got. At least. USC got 5 years for one guy. How many guys were involved in the Terrell Pryor fiasco? I think it should be 5 years per guy, personally. Boise State. They still feel slighted because they didn't get into the national title picture. Look, Boise State, here's an idea. Play a real schedule and maybe you might get some respect. Oh, well, we're joining a conference next year. You're joining the freaking Big East. Seriously. Get a real schedule, join a relevant conference, and maybe somebody will start paying attention to you. The more I hear these Boise State fans cry and whine, I just want to take them all out and pound at me, and I'm going to pimp slap every last one of them. It's ridiculous. It is pathetic. If your team played a real schedule, you might be in the national title picture. As far as I'm concerned, with the schedules you keep giving yourselves, you should be in the toilet bowl with the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii, because neither one of you play any real teams. When we come back, I'm going to cool my jets a little bit. No pick of the litter this week. It's the holidays. The pooch is off. I'm going to bring you my picks, and then we'll talk a little 4th and goal. We'll be right back in the Red Zone. This week, well, mostly today's picks, I'm going to take the Patriots over the Fish. That is a lock. Look, Miami's looking a lot better. They really are, but it's the Patriots. The Patriots are on a roll. They didn't look great in the first half against Denver, but then they came back and just, let's be honest, Tom Brady took the football, shoved it in Tim Tebow's face, and said, "Watch, son, this is how you throw." Can't believe I'm giving Brady so many props this year. I'm not running a fever. I must not be sick. Maybe I'm just generous because we've gotten closer to the holidays. Taking the Jags over the Titans is my upset pick. The Jags are really impressing me here lately. And I think if they can put some more pieces together, they're going to be a real contender. So I'm going to take them over the Titans this week because really Hasselbeck has not impressed me as the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. Taking the Giants over the Jets, that's one of those coin flip games. They're both inconsistent. Rex Ryan's talking a load of smack. Apparently, their playbook this week has a bloodied image of Eli Manning from the 2010 preseason game in that brand new field. Rex, keep it up. It's not working. But if the Giants lose to the Jets, Cowboys are a shoo-in for the playoffs. They're going to win the division if they can beat Philly. So what Dallas is hoping for essentially is for them to beat Philadelphia and for the Jets to beat the Giants, and it's over. But I am picking the Giants over the Jets. I'm taking the Panthers over the Bucks. The Bucks are falling apart. I don't know what's going on in Tampa Bay. I it's astounding to me. They started off in preseason extremely strong, and since the first preseason game, they've just taken baby steps backward, and now they're a joke compared to what I thought they would be at the beginning of the season. Taking the Steelers over the Rams, that is a lock, even with Big Ben not playing, which is a smart move. It's the Rams. Seriously. I'm taking the Ravens over the Browns. Ravens are inconsistent. They seem to disappoint me half the time that I pick them. We'll see if they can pull it off against the Browns. I'm also taking the Bungles over the Desert Rats. Arizona impressed me when they beat Dallas, but that wasn't Arizona. That was Jason Garrett icing his own kicker. But I think the Bungles can pull this off. Taking the Skins over the Vikes. I hate Mike Shanahan. I hate the Washington Redskins, but the Vikings are horrible. Taking the Bills over the Broncos. Bills are due. They are due, and I'm hoping that the Buffalo coaching staff watched the New England Denver game last week and saw the holes that the Patriots defense was exploiting in the second half. I'm taking the Chiefs over the Raiders with Romeo Crennel and Kyle Orton running things, them leading that ship right at the helm. I really think the Chiefs are going to plow through these last couple weeks and win. I think that's all they're going to do is win for these next 2 weeks. I'm taking the Lions over the Chargers. Let's be honest, the Lions are a better team. San Diego's not going to be a good team as long as they've got the same exact issue that Kansas City had up until last week. Horrible head coach and a pansy little baby boy as their quarterback. All right? They get rid of North Turner, they'll get better. They get rid of Jamie Crimea Rivers, they'll be awesome. Taking the Eagles over the Cowboys. I really don't think the Cowboys have got it. When I plan on a game that involves the Cowboys, there's two things that I plan for. I plan for Romo to screw up in the red zone, and I plan for Jason Garrett to screw up in the red zone. And I don't think the Philly defense is going to have any of that. They're going to be opportunistic. I'm taking the 49ers of the Sea Chickens. That's another lock. Give me a break. All right, I say it all the time. 3-year-old girl can make that pick. Taking the Packers over the Bears. Packers are going to be really ticked off after last week. And I think that's going to make up for a lot of their the holes and the injuries that they've got. There's going to be an intensity. Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking to prove a point after losing to Kansas City. And the Bears are just as beat up. And I'm also going to take the Saints over the Falcons. I'm not sure anybody can stop the Saints. And after seeing how badly beat up Green Bay was last week against Kansas City, Saints are my NFC pick to go to the Super Bowl. Who's my AFC pick? I don't even know yet. But I think Saints are going to go to the Super Bowl again. When we come back, I'm going to tell you a little bit about next week, the triple feature, the triple threat of the Red Zone coming at you. We'll be right back in the Red Zone. This week's fourth and goal, like I said, I'm talking about next week, the New Year's weekend. We're going to have Red Zone Week 17 for the NFL, just like always, next Saturday. But let's fast forward, because Monday night is the 2011, the second annual Zony Awards. All the voting's done. Everything that we put out for voting on the Facebook has been counted. You can vote all you want right now. It doesn't count. Jay Rich is working up the graphics. It'll be up next Monday. Not this coming Monday, but the 2nd. And also, next Sunday is the Year in Review 2011. We posted on the Trubl Zone Facebook earlier today and on the Pigeon Toe Facebook. If you have a favorite moment that's happened here on the show, and there's been a lot of them from the Brady Alert drops, the Vince Young Wants Respect drops, T Money with his You Know Who Your Daddy Is, and, you know, various appearances by Carlos Sandoval, Jay Rich, and Josh Wack. That this has been a very good year. It's our first year on video, and it's the first year I'm doing a year in review. So hopefully next year we'll have an even bigger one. But this year's year in review, we're starting on it very, very quickly. There is no rest for the weary during the holiday season here at the Pigeon Toe or at the Trubl Zone. But again, this week you got football today. That's why it's kind of a shorter show than usual. Go out, you enjoy your football. Next week you got a triple threat of the red zone coming at you. Happy holidays. Be safe. Watch out for the drunks. Don't be one. For myself and Jay Rich and the Pooch and T Money here at the Toe, we wish you and yours a very safe and happy holiday season. I am the Trubl Zone. Zone out.